You definitely want to make sure to follow the local officials. A lot of people that are being evacuated in that mile radius. And like you said, it's changing because of the winds that we're seeing out there this morning. I mean, up to 10 to 15 mile per hour winds out of the north is just dragging that smoke southward, and still getting a lot of pictures, not just through your Facebook, but Eyewitness News and also Twitter. A lot of people sending me pictures either from up in the sky, because we actually had a photo sent in from somebody who was flying over Rockford and actually got a picture of the smoke plume earlier this morning. But you can just still see that firefighters are waiting for this fire to be consumed in the building, just to be burned down so that they can move in, so that they know it's safe enough, to interact water with it, because you don't want to do that too early, or it could make for a more difficult situation.
Now, Joey, I don't know if you're able to, I know we have an amazing network of cameras here on Eyewitness News. If you can look through even Rockford's downtown camera to see how far this is actually stretching. A lot of you guys have been sending stuff in. We'll see if we can pull that up for you. Also, this is a view from Beloit. This is one of our SkyTrack cameras. Let's see if we can get you back to that scene, though, as we're kind of going into some of our chopper views, those aerial views this morning. Okay, this right here coming from the Rochelle Airport this morning. Still seeing some stuff in the sky there. I don't know, can't tell if that's actually just clouds, I believe. But let's see if we can pull up. Do we have that aerial view still? There we go. Okay, helicopter has actually left the scene, so it doesn't look like we'll be getting those aerial views right now. That was courtesy of our sister stations out of Chicago. We, of course, appreciate their partnership and helping us out with that. So this is actually a live look from from the site there. Okay, Joey, let's see if we can take that right now on your camera. This is of downtown
Yeah, this is
Rockford.
downtown Rockford, right over the Rock River, and you can just see just how much of the smoke has really consumed the sky there. And people thinking that it's a cloudy day, but in fact we have clear skies aside from this smoke. So that's trailing all the way south of Rockford, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see smoke near Ashton and also Davis Junction. The radar picking up really good on that smoke plume, and that just extends southward to Interstate 88, Whitney. So a lot of people out there seeing all of this smoke, whether you're down Interstate 39 or if you're traveling Interstate 88. So
okay, all right, well, we appreciate you giving us those looks here. Let's get you back with that live look at the scene this morning. This is what is considered a safe area, probably the closest we can get with it being, of course, without it being too dangerous, as we try to get you a little bit closer here. Debris, though, now being found all the way in Rockford. We got a message that came in from somebody on 12th Street saying that something has fallen. This is what it looks like here as we're getting more pictures of that debris coming into our newsroom this morning. There's a little chunk of it there. Larger chunks, too, that we're seeing. We just showed you guys a man earlier who was actually holding up a chunk of debris coming out of this. Some of these, again, reaching with Chesney Park, reaching the Rockford area. Okay, again, Roscoe Middle School, that is the evacuation site this morning as they are pulling everybody there. A lot of people seem to have found different homes to go to as an evacuation site. There weren't a whole lot of people there. We just went through and checked that for you. If you are just joining us this morning, a lot of you just joining us on our Facebook page as well. I know we're getting some coverage on there. I want to let you guys know we did speak with somebody who says he was a worker inside, that they actually do evacuation drills several times a year, so they knew, the workers that were in there knew exactly what to do within seconds of being told and hearing those fire alarms going off. They all kind of went to separate areas that they were supposed to go to. He really credits those drills for what is the safety of these workers that we're seeing today. The company speaking out too, letting us know everybody is okay. That is the latest update that we're getting. Now, we have not spoken with fire officials yet. Usually, I mean, it's very unusual actually to get a statement coming from the company right before we get anything from any of the emergency responders at the scene. So we do really appreciate that they let us know that everybody was okay through that. All right, again, I want to remind you guys, the evacuation site, kind of repeating that over and over because it's so important. That is at Roscoe Middle School. Okay, just getting an update too. We're getting more debris from people's updates, from their yards in the Cherry Valley. Joey, what do you got over here?
Actually, Michelle, Midday Michelle, she actually said that MJ, who is in downtown Rockford, is seeing debris falling from the sky. She's supposed to be reading outside with the library summer reading program, but they have avoided doing that because of the ashes falling, and the chemicals that are involved in this fire now can be smelled in Rockford. So definitely want to make sure. Like we've been saying, this is very dangerous, especially with that smoke plume. So definitely want to make sure that you tag your local officials, because not only are we seeing it in Cherry Valley, now downtown Rockford seeing some debris as well.
So we really would like to, we spoke with a retired firefighter, we've spoken with somebody who was inside the building. What we would really want to get some answers to right now is what is going into our area this morning. Is it a concern? Is there a reason to shut our doors right now or shut our windows? So our goal right now is to speak with somebody, or if somebody is watching right now, if it's the health department or an environmental agency, if you're able to reach out with that statement. I'm sure a lot of news agencies, our community really would like to know what's going on here, even if it's to give the all clear to say, hey, it's okay, this is, the way we're burning this is safe. So please, we would really like to get that information. That is, I think, one of the biggest questions that we're getting from viewers coming in this morning. Well, we have a crew, a reporting crew right now headed to different locations in Roscoe. Want to check in with our producer to see kind of where we are on that right now. Okay. All right, so it looks like they are just trying to pull them up, so we're going to get that up here. Let's pull up some more pictures that we're getting of debris coming in right now. Hopefully we get some locations with these as well as they're coming in. So this is actually near 173 and Old River Road. This is a little piece of the debris, again, falling from the sky. This is what we're seeing here. I believe we have a couple more coming in here. Let's see if we can pull those up for you as we get those locations as they're coming in. Really do appreciate that. See if we can get them up here. We know some of you guys are actually holding some of those larger chunks of debris too. I mean, we're just amazing to see that is coming down. Okay, I'm just looking through here. Having a little issue with my computer as I'm trying to pull up some of your updates coming in here. All right, let's see if we can get that up here. So we give you that live look at the scene. Again, this is the area that is considered safe this morning. So we are actually, in the safe zone. That's within a mile. Okay, there we go. There's a large chunk of debris. Do our producers know? Do you guys know where this actually came from, or where this? Okay, for this man, Brian Taylor actually sent this in. Brian, if you could let us know where you are. I mean, that's a huge chunk, but looking at the smoke behind you, it's not as dark, so it does seem like you're a little bit further away. So we'll have to kind of see where that's from. But look how large that is. Again, this is affecting so many people in our community, not just in the Rockton area. This is stretching, far north and south as we're seeing that debris falling from the sky. You guys, hundreds of messages coming into our newsroom. I'm filtering through these while I'm on air. So I appreciate you guys doing that along with me this morning. So as I'm going through here, just kind of checking through here. Yeah, big question this morning, and Rhonda's asking on our Facebook page, how safe is the air that we're breathing in right now? That's the big question that we're trying to figure out. It looks like our news director might have an update here as he's coming in.
We're hoping to learn a little bit more information soon. The fire department is setting up a news conference at South Beloit High School. We do not have an exact start time for that news conference at this point in time, but that's where we're hopefully going to learn more information about what's going on at the news conference right there. Our Rachel Perry is sitting there right now. As soon as the news conference starts, she will be able to give us more information.
Okay.
Also, just giving a little bit more information about this facility. I just got off the phone with OSHA, and there is an active investigation into a complaint at this facility, and it is regarding safety and health. But we don't know what the complaint is, and that can be anything from simply a gate that's not sturdy enough to something that could be significantly more serious. So we have no idea what the complaint is regarding.
And a lot of times, too, it's very common for, these plants are larger. We can see these complaints coming in, but definitely something that we're looking into.
Yeah, this complaint came in May 20th, so it's relatively recent. But looking back at other inspections, there has been nothing at this plant since 2012.
Okay.
So quite often you see a lot more complaints on plants of this size. So seeing that there has not been any complaint, and this complaint was from 2012, was the last one before this one, that's actually pretty good for a plant of this size. Once again, the active complaint that we have right now, we have zero idea what it is other than OSHA is investigating something. It could be something very small, it could be something bigger, we have no idea other than there's an active investigation. OSHA right now is trying to get me more information on that.
Okay, we appreciate that. That's Matt. That's our news director. Is helping with our coverage, of course, today, leading everything that we've put out to you guys. Again, we're learning a little bit more about the company too. They've got different things in here, but they built that new manufacturing facility in Rockton in 2008. They were located to that new corporate technology Technology Center in Rockton about 2009. So again, it's something that we look into. It could be, as Matt mentioned, something that's minor, something that could be bigger, but just to let you guys know that there is something that is out there. Okay, more debris pictures coming in. Someone actually showing their foot next to the debris just to kind of show you for scale there. This is a mile from downtown Rockton. And so, I mean, these are large chunks. We're seeing about that size, too, reaching the Rockford area. So it's not just right around the plant. That evacuation site is around the plant, but this is, again, stretching a lot further south as well. All right, looking back here, it looks like our aerial views will be coming back up here. I don't know if we're able to take those, but it looks like our affiliate in Chicago has something going there. If we can pull up one of their chopper views here, so giving us another look here. Are we able to take that, Ryan? All right, so there you guys go. We had a little break from our aerial footage there. There's another live look at the scene as we give you a look at Chemtool. That is the actual plant. Look at the bottom of your screen right there. We're seeing more explosions. That worker that we spoke with said that could be drums that are in there. We're seeing a lot of these little drums with chemicals potentially exploding. So that's what that could be that we're seeing this morning. There's a look at the emergency response that is out there. As Matt mentioned too, there's actually going to be a press briefing at South Beloit High School. They have not said the timing of that just yet, but as we said, we have a reporter who is sitting there. She is ready to go. She is waiting, so you are in the right place. Of course, stay with our coverage for that. But there's a live look at those multiple agencies on the scene out there this morning, different fire trucks from crews. Freeport, we're seeing some in Wisconsin. We know Janesville has stepped in to respond. All right, if you look at the right side of your screen there, upper right side, that is where we're seeing those explosions coming in. The aerial view here from our choppers in Chicago, zooming in, just showing you a little bit about the fire crews that are on the scene. Of course, when you see these, it's always a very calm demeanor. We spoke with a retired firefighter who let us know they're working out there. We show you this. It doesn't seem like they're aggressively fighting it. A lot of times, again, they will wait until these chemicals burn off before they're able to step in. Also, you can see there, it looks like that is the American Red Cross vehicle, that white one right in the center. They will step in to help. Firefighters, they get hot, they're in their gear, there's kind of a rotation, even if it's just to be out there to hand water out, a sandwich, something to our emergency responders. They're going to be out there for quite some time this morning. That evacuation site, again, set up at Roscoe Middle School. Hananiga, of course, was at Stephen Mack. They saw that huge plume of smoke there, and so they ended up moving people out of that area into Roscoe Middle School. Not a lot of people there too. If you're worried about kind of the larger crowds of where you want to go, there's not a lot of people at that evacuation site. So if you just need air conditioning, that could just be a place for you to go for a few minutes if you needed to go there. Okay, just a reminder too. Again, this is at the Chemtool location. That evacuation is within 1 mile as more explosions are happening live here on Eyewitness News. Again, we have a full team coverage of this morning. Meteorologist Joy Marino letting us know about the wind speeds, the wind direction. Our chief meteorologist Candace King giving us coverage from DeKalb County, where we're also seeing a lot of that smoke popping up on radar. Our Rachel Perry is sitting right now at South Beloit High School. She is waiting to hear from emergency responders when they have that press briefing. There you go again. I mean, more explosions happening. Weekend anchor Alexis Carpello also out. We also have our reporter Michelle Rave. She's going to join us live here on the phone in just a second. And my co-anchor Elliot Grandia, who's been evacuated several times, giving us a live look at that scene. There you go, you guys. There is our aerial coverage of more explosions happening within the plant as we zoom in here, showing you that emergency response this morning right outside of Chemtool and Rockton. There you guys go. Do we have, it sounds like our Michelle Rave, is she all ready to go here? Okay, she's getting a little more information. We're going to join her live. Where is Michelle? Okay. Sure. So she is actually at Roscoe Middle School this morning. She's going to give us a little bit more information about that scene. I want to know if we can pull up my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia. I want to talk to him a little bit about the ash that's falling from the sky this morning, just to show kind of, what it really looks like. We've been showing you guys different parts of that. If you are just joining us, we're learning about the different emergency crews that are on the scene this morning. You're seeing Freeport, Janesville. I know we can't really zoom in there because it's coming from a different chopper, but Rockford Fire Department also saying, hey, we can help. We have special tools and foams you can use on chemicals, so they've stepped in to help as well. Looking through your responses this morning, we have hundreds and hundreds, of pictures actually coming into our newsroom. A lot of you guys seeing where you can see it. Want to get to the most recent here. So I'm going to try to get this, go down here while you guys are on the screen joining us right now. Yeah, some people saying you could see the smoke from the Rockford Airport, downtown Rockford. Look at this right here as you see those flames just igniting. All right, our producer is trying to speak with me. What's going on, Ryan? Okay. Okay, it looks like from about 20 minutes from now, we're going to get an official statement coming from the fire departments out there. That is probably going to be the most we will learn this morning. Again, about 20 minutes. We have different crews all going to that same location there at South Beloit High School. So Elliot is headed there right now. He's in the car with our photographer, Bill. 20 minutes from now, we're going to hopefully get some more answers as we try to figure out what is in the air. That is the big question this morning. Again, those evacuation sites are being set up. Joy, I'm going to have you give us a couple looks here. This is actually coming in from Beloit.
Yeah, this is our SkyTrack camera up in Beloit. We've been showing you this all morning, and just really gives you a view on how much of this fire is sending smoke into the air. And as we've been mentioning, this is a chemical fire, so we don't know what is being lofted into the air, but still, that's why they are evacuating at least a mile or more of the surrounding areas from that plant. And this is a live look up in Beloit, and you can see those flagpoles in downtown. They are dealing with winds out of the north, and so that's why places like Rockford is seeing ash fall from the sky, also McChesney Park and also Loves Park, because we had a cold front pass through this morning, and you can see just the winds right now coming in from southern Wisconsin. We're up to almost up to 15 miles per hour with winds out of the north and northwest. So with Rockton being in between Janesville and Rockford, that's going to be dragging the smoke downward towards Highway 20 and also down Interstate 39. So that's why we're getting a whole bunch of pictures, not only from Rockford, but up in Rockton, but also from Poplar Grove and also Belvedere. They're seeing the smoke, and our floor director actually had a friend send in a picture from Elgin. That's how far we're seeing this smoke this morning, as you can just see all of this being lofted into the air, and that's why we're still trying to figure out what is in the air, what's being lofted into the air with these chemicals as this fire continues to burn. But as you saw on our SkyTrack camera in Rockford, also down in Rochelle, can see the smoke plume in those areas. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get to see that a little more as you get down towards Amboy and south of Interstate 88, but still continuing to deal with all this smoke. As you can see here with northerly winds, that's why it's being pulled downstream from Rockton down into areas like Rockford and also down into Rochelle. Whitney?
Thank you so much, because we give you those live looks. Look at this here. This is a live look this morning at the plant. This is, I believe this is live. Is this a replay? I want to make sure here. This is a live look right now at that scene. The reason I ask if it's a replay is because we keep seeing these explosions happening, and I was hoping that by this time we would be done with that. But look at that. There's more fire, again, more explosions. The worker from inside the plant telling us he believes that those are actually drums. He worked at the plant for half a decade, so he knows, he knows the area pretty well, but he believes that those are actually drums exploding in there every time the fire is reaching something else. All right, want to remind you guys, if you have been with us all morning, you're looking for answers just like we are, there is a site set up at South Beloit High School that is a media briefing area. That is where we're going to figure out what is going on with our air quality right now, what is going on with the smoke, what's actually in it. All right, want to take about 500 meters away here. Let's give you a live look at this. This is about 500 meters away of this. Looks like it's not live, but want to give you a look here at the actual debris falling. Okay, look at there, right to the center of your screen. You can see it coming down. Ryan, let's see if we can take that over at the 3x3 for a second here. If we can replay that. I'm going to move over there for a second. I'm going to try to get over there as we give you that aerial view here. Okay, so we really do appreciate you guys sending all of your pictures in, because they're coming in from all over the area, Rockford, Janesville, even from Waukesha. I want to give you guys a look here. This is a look at the actual debris falling from our sky. We're going to see if we're going to cue that back up for you guys to show you. Okay, so if you look right here, this is what we're talking about. That is that debris that's coming down and going into neighborhoods and falling into people's driveways and stuff. There's more up there too. You can see some of those little pieces here. Some of those are actually pretty large. Okay. So I'm actually going to pull that up here. We have a statement coming in from Ogle County. I don't know if someone's able just to print that out and just send that out to me real quick. Okay, let me see if I can get that up for you guys here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, it's actually, thank you for letting me know where that is. Okay, so this is actually just coming in from Ogle County. I want to pull that up for you guys here. Just give me a quick second. Just trying to get it up. Okay, so this says, as of 10:50, the fire in Rockton has caused smoke to cover the eastern third of Ogle County. They are now asking you to close doors, close windows if you live east of Meridian Road, and then monitor the air quality. Please do not call 911 unless you're having an emergency. Again, let's see if we get the screen back up behind me of that debris falling, but Ogle County Sheriff letting us know that it has now reached Ogle County, that there's air quality concerns out of Ogle County this morning, saying that as of right now, 10 minutes ago, that they have actually caused smoke to reach Ogle County. Close windows and doors if you live east of Meridian Road and monitor that indoor air quality. So here we go, giving you guys another live look here at those flames, those drums potentially exploding inside the plant this morning. Fear right now is not only putting this out, but the air quality. And we're going to find out more about that in about 15 minutes from now as the emergency responders take to the podium, speak to media for the very first time. We've been live with you guys on air since 7 o'clock this morning covering this for you. So, of course, we're going to let you know what's happening there. But again, if you feel like you are having any issues breathing, if there's anything like that, only call 911. If it is an emergency, they do not want you calling to say that you see smoke in the air or that you're seeing flames or that you're having debris fall. Only an emergency. Our crews are obviously so busy today, so tied up with this, so they don't want to waste any of those resources or maybe potentially miss that 911 call. Okay, want to remind you guys again, let's see if we can pull up that debris. I'm going to step out here for just a second here. We can pull it up in our 3x3 here. We're getting that going here, so we'll give it just a second. But more pictures coming in as well from Rockford, from Janesville. I mean, just stretching the area here as these crews try to battle this right now. Want to check in with our producer right now. Are we getting more photos coming in? Okay, this is a look at that debris. We showed you what it looked like as it was actually coming down from the sky. This is about a mile from that fire, and we appreciate you, kind of giving us a reference so we can see the size of that too. This is this woman's foot right next to the debris. There's another man who had like a huge chunk in his hand that he was showing us as well to show us just kind of how big it is. So, all right, I want to head over to my computer right now so I'm able to see some of these updates coming in. So appreciate not only our crews out on the scene, but our local crews. Everyone's on the phone behind our scenes right now, just trying to get all of this information into you guys. So we just really, really appreciate everyone's hard work this morning. Again, Roscoe Middle School, that is the evacuation site. If you heard me mention South Beloit High School, that is a site for media right now as they are preparing for a briefing here that's going to start any minute now. I want to get a look here at more of your photos coming in and what you're seeing right now. I did post on my Facebook page just asking you guys, hey, what are you guys seeing? Please let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. Okay, looking through right now. Again, a lot of people concerned about breathing. Just going through right now all of your responses. Okay, and again, people reminding us, wear your masks. We have them. We don't know what's in the air right now, and they're reminding us to just keep those masks on and use them because we don't know what is going into the air and what we're actually breathing in. There you guys see another look. I keep double checking to see if this is a replay. This is actually a live look at that scene as we're seeing more explosions happening at this plant. Now, again, if you were joining us, I do want to emphasize this because I do think it's very important. The emergency responders that you're seeing, they seem very calm on the scene. They're kind of all gathered together in a parking lot. A lot of times, and we heard this from a retired firefighter, they will let these chemicals burn off before they come in and try to put this fire out. They are working hard out there. We're going to find out exactly what is going on in about 10 minutes from now as they meet us over at South Beloit High School. I want to remind you of our crews on the scene this morning. This is full team coverage. We have Rachel Perry, who's sitting at South Beloit High School with my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia. Our weekend anchor, Alexis Carpello, is also out. She's out in neighborhoods. Our Michelle Rave is at Roscoe Middle School. That is the evacuation site. We've learned from that site right now. Not a lot of people have been there. Now, originally, I told you guys, Stephen Mack was an evacuation center for kids coming from Hononegah High School, any of the schools. They actually had to move that site to Roscoe Middle School because there was so much smoke that was actually hovering over the building. That is why we appreciate you guys, spending your time with us right now because this situation is changing minute by minute, and we're going to let you know exactly what's coming in. A lot of you guys, I mean, you see me checking email and stuff live here as I'm trying to get you guys the latest updates on this. Now, officially, the mile evacuated between Prairie Hill and Blackhawk, that is the actual official evacuation center. It is now reaching all the way, as I mentioned, into Ogle County. The sheriff putting out that statement, letting us know that they want you to close your doors, your windows. They do not want you to have that, your air quality interrupted in any way. So again, they are saying in Ogle County, about a third of Ogle County, close windows and doors if you live east of Meridian Road, and monitor your indoor air quality. Do not call 911 unless it is an emergency. So that presser happening in about, I believe, sounds like 10 minutes from now, if that's right. I don't know if we have any of our crews that are able to, if we can pull them up at all. I want to check in with our producer, Ryan. He's on the phone, and probably 3 phones back there right now. Ryan, what are we hearing from our reporters? Are we able to take any of them? Okay, so my co-anchor Elliot Grandia will be leading our coverage at that press conference in South Beloit. So he is just getting everything set up right now, and we're going to hear from them. Again, I had mentioned this earlier. It is very rare for the company to come out with a statement before we actually hear from emergency responders. But this is so huge. I want to see if we can get this actually, Ryan, in maybe like a bottom graphic here, because everyone is confirmed on site and safe and accounted for. That is coming from the company. We have not heard of any other injuries or anything like that. So this is, again, the latest coming in. So we hope that this stays this way as we take those emergency responders in about 10 minutes from now as they take to the podium. We just hope that this is the news that continues this morning, because look at that site. I mean, again, the workers telling us they had just minutes to get out of this building. They practice this evacuation several times a year, and they knew exactly what to do and exactly where to go to prevent being inside during this massive explosion. Now, we do not have any causes just yet. I mean, the company just, straight up said, we are looking into this. We don't know. A lot of times that will take, even a year from now before we can figure that out. Preliminary causes, though, those can, often come even the day of, the week of. That worker that we spoke to just said that he actually thought that maybe a pipe burst and that there was potentially hot grease that came out, and then within just minutes, again, he was taken out of there. Now, he said, and this is not confirmed, there's no one to really confirm this with just yet, but that there's about 100, the worker said that there's about 150 people typically in the building for their shifts, and so they are just, just letting us know that that's how many people got out that fast. Okay, I am checking our email while I'm on air with you guys here, just trying to see if anything else has come in. Let's see if we can get this in here. Okay. Just looking in here, you guys, if there's any other updates here. Joey, are you seeing anything on the radar?
Actually, we actually have a picture that was sent in by one of our viewers, Woody. He lives in Oregon, and I don't know if we'll be able to pull this up, but it's a really nice panorama picture that he sent in from his backyard. And, you were talking about the officials in Ogle County saying that the smoke plume has reached Ogle County, and also that they should be listening to their local officials. This was sent in by Woody. He sends in pictures to the First Warn Weather Center all the time, especially during the evenings with the sunsets. But you can just see that he is also seeing that smoke plume from his backyard in Oregon. You can see the Byron plant there off in the distance on your left. And then just behind that, you see that gray, even black smoke that's coming from this fire that's been ongoing for a couple of hours now. There's a live look at what's going on at the moment. Still a lot to unfold with this fire as crews wait and see the perfect opportunity to go battle these flames. But we're getting a lot of pictures, not just from Ogle County, but also DeKalb County, even down towards Lee County, of the smoke heading down towards that way. So like you said, with Ogle County, definitely want to listen to local officials, close the windows if you can, and then if anybody in Lee County or DeKalb County tells you to do the same thing, it's definitely going to be beneficial to your health, because as you mentioned, we don't know what's being lofted into the air with this chemical fire, Whitney.
And speaking of that too, Joey, we are expected to learn in just moments now. This is another live look at more explosions happening in this. We're giving you a closer look here. This is actually an aerial view coming in from our sister station out of Chicago. We appreciate their coverage this morning. Look at that though. More explosions happening here. I mean, that building is just, it's got to be a loss. I mean, look at all of this. It just, it keeps going. But we are going to get some answers for you, for our community here in the next few minutes. So, of course, you're in the right place. My co-anchor, Elliot Grandia, is actually right now, he is waiting for those firefighters, investigators to take to the podium. They have announced a press briefing in just a few minutes from now. They do this many times, so they will have that united message to let us know what is going into our air. Now, I've kind of repeated this, but we all have masks right now. So if you feel like you're getting that acidic smell that people keep referencing, or you smell the smoke, you can wear that. We have those. So at least we all have those tools available to us. All right, my co-anchor Elliot Grandia is live in the scene. I don't know if we're able to take him. I know he was just setting up, trying to get everything ready to go. I want to check with our producer. Are we able to take Elliot? Okay, we'll see if we're able to take him here in just a little bit. I know we have a couple other reporters there on the scene. Want to see if we're able to take any of them right now. We'll see if we can get them here. Okay, couple technical issues. We're going to check in with you guys here in just a second. Again, Chemtool's been around since, 1960s. That facility specifically, it looks like it was about 2008, 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the latest information, though, that we're getting. I mean, a lot in this, a lot of chemicals. There's lubricants, grease, fluids, oils. And again, look at this here as it continues to burn as we give you those aerial views. Okay, time right now, 11:11. Looking through all of your photos coming in, more pictures coming in of debris out of Rockford. Looks like far west side of Rockford. Looking at more of these coming in this morning here. A lot of people wondering, I mean, your biggest question right now is how safe is the air to breathe? That is the question that we're hoping to get answered here in the next few minutes. Do we have Elliot all ready to go here? See if we're able to take him. Again, he's just setting up out there. I want to make sure we're not missing anything with that news conference right now. Okay, a lot of people letting us know, again, of where the debris is falling. Looks like we are able to take. Let's take my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia.
Yeah, Whitney, we're actually now stationed at South Beloit High School. A lot of emergency personnel now gathering. They're going to kind of, like you were saying, give us a united answer on what is going on right now. I was able to talk with the chief real briefly. He wasn't able to give me too much information yet, but 150 plus people now battling the flames at Chemtool right now. So that's the amount of people right there just trying to get this under control. Again, we are at South Beloit High School. Just going to try to give you guys some answers on what's going on and update. You can still see, though, we are about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from Chemtool, and I mean, it doesn't look like the fumes of smoke are getting any smaller at this point, 3 hours after that fire started. So we're going to try to get more information on, where things lie right now. We know that neighbors have homes there. They're wondering what's going on their streets, their backyards. All of Rockton now displaced currently and evacuated from that area. So we're going to try to figure out what everyone's going to be doing, where those evacuation notices are going to be like, and how long people are going to be without their homes currently, Whitney.
Yeah, a lot of people wondering when they can actually get back home. We know Roscoe Middle School is a site right now for that air conditioning. Elliot, can you still hear me? There's a look, you guys, too, as a replay of that second explosion. We actually saw that explosion during Elliot's live shot, too. Elliot, what are you hearing as far as the timing of this press conference?
Within a matter of minutes. I think we should be on about 10 minutes, but said 20 minutes. I think everyone's pretty much here. I think they're just waiting to make sure everyone is gathered. The chief is right there. He looks to be kind of heading our way, so I would say in a matter of minutes.
Okay. And I know we have a crew set up there. I don't know if we have a windscreen or anything. I'm hearing that wind coming through your microphone. Just want to make sure we're getting that information to everybody. Thank you so much, Elliot. We appreciate all your coverage out there. We'll probably come right back to you here as that chief comes up there in just a second here. Okay, there's a live look at the scene that we just saw behind Elliot. This is a look, though, of that evacuation zone. This is around Chemtool right now. This is where it's about 1 mile around the actual plant. So big thing with this, though, is that, here's a replay of that, by the way. A big thing with that, though, is that it can actually be a little bit wider than that. That's just the latest coming in. So we're going to learn all of that here really in a few moments as we begin to take that press conference, that press briefing in just a moment. Okay, this is a live look again at that scene. We're so lucky to have these aerial views of the Chemtool plant. out of Rockton this morning. As we zoom out, the camera showing you that plume of smoke growing this morning. We see it on our own radar where we pick up storms here at Eyewitness News. We're seeing that actually on there as well as it's reaching into Rockford, debris falling in people's garages, on top of their garages and their yards as far as Rockford. We appreciate all of your pictures coming in this morning. Again, as of what we know right now at 11:15, everyone has been accounted for who's been inside this plant. The firefighters that are waiting to speak, we're going to learn more about the actual air quality, if that's a concern, as the Oakland County Sheriff's Department came out just to say, hey, we do want you to close everything up. The smoke is starting to reach us. They want to make sure that, of course, everyone is safe and not breathing this in. Reminder, too, we do have our masks. You know, if we're still able to wear those, we all have that accessible tool to us if we feel like that's an issue at all. Going through all of your responses, I want to get to the most recent ones here on our Facebook page. A lot of you saying that you live, this came in just a moment ago, East State and Fairview, and you're seeing a lot of smoke coming, almost describing it as a storm coming in. This one coming in, again, just moments ago of that debris falling here. So Delavan, people can see it in Delavan, Wisconsin. So we're going a little bit further north there. And again, as we're going through a lot of these comments, we appreciate you guys sending your stuff in. Okay, just a few minutes from now, we're going to learn more about the actual air quality this morning and what's going on. So Elliot's going to join us live there. I believe we have another reporter who's out. I know they were trying to get that all handled. Dave, do we have another reporter up? Okay. All right, they're actually moving to a different location, so we'll check in with them here again as we give you that live look. Please continue to send your pictures in. You can do that through our Facebook page. You can do it through our email as well. There's an easy link there on our website. This is another look at that. Where is this location from? If we're able to see that. Okay, so this is actually south of Route 20 between Pearl City and Stockton. So this is as far as that we're seeing it this morning. A lot of that smoke coming. We'll see if we're able to go back to my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia, here in just a moment. He said that the investigators are all lining up. They're getting ready to go. They're going to get to that podium, and we'll get your questions answered. I am taking note of all of your questions. I see them coming in through our Facebook page. Cannot respond to them because I'm obviously, on air with you guys right now. A lot of you guys are watching this on Facebook too, but I have noted them. We're going to try to get those answered for you, as of course Elliot is with investigators. Okay, look, we've zoomed out here from our chopper, so you can get a look there at as this helicopter is actually leaving the scene. Gives you kind of a look at what it looks like from a little bit further away. And again, we do appreciate them as we're seeing those more explosions coming in this morning. Evacuation site, again, Roscoe Middle School. Our media briefing happening right now at South Beloit High School. And that's where my co-anchor Elliot Grandia is going to join us live here. Let's see if we can get a live look at that podium here, if we can pull them up in double boxes here as we're trying to get everything ready to go. It sounds like the investigators are ready to go. Is that right? Okay. Looks like they're just getting ready to go. We do have somebody at the evacuation site as well. And now it looks like Michelle is at the evacuation site. Let's see if we can pull her up, possibly on a phone interview. Let's see if we can get her on the phone. I know we're working hard back there. Okay, let's bring up some photos that are just coming into our newsroom. We appreciate you guys sending this stuff in. Let's see if we can get a location on this one this morning here as we give you a look at what a lot of people's backyards are seeing. A lot of you guys are seeing debris in the grass as well. This right here, though, this is Alpine and Samuelson in Rockford. A lot of people describing it looking like almost like a storm. It's coming in, and that's what we're seeing here on a lot of your different photos. See here, I'm pulling up any other updates that are just coming in. See what we can get right now. Looks like there is black ash falling inside a yard inside McChesney Park. This is over on Victory, someone is saying. A lot of people saying that, again, they're seeing that what appears to be smoke. It's amazing, though, to see the stretch of that debris going all the way from that location. Let's see if we can pull up Beloit right now. What are we looking at here, Joey? What is that?
This is actually, I was just talking to our floor director, this is actually a time lapse of the smoke that we've been dealing with all morning. Like you were saying, we've been doing this breaking news since 8 o'clock. Yeah. This is from...
that, though. It's amazing we can do that with our cameras.
Yeah, you can. I mean, even with this time lapse and even with it sped up, you can just see some of the explosions and the fire that's creeping over the tree line there. All of this smoke that we've been dealing with this morning, and that's why it's pretty important to listen to your local officials. I mean, with all the smoke and with all the chemicals being lofted into the air, I mean, just take a look at this. This is what we've been dealing with all morning, and you can see that with the winds.
But I want to interrupt you just so we can get to this. I hear they're walking up to the podium.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. You can go ahead. What's the top one? One. All right. Thanks, Doris.
Hi, Whitney. If you can hear me, just let me know. We are just currently waiting for the final emergency folks to get here. So, like I was saying, what I heard from the chief so far is that 150 plus people are currently fighting the flames right now, or at the Chem Tool building. But we're going to try to get an idea on what the effort is looking like currently, when residents might be able to return home. We do not know that at this time, when they'll be able to get home, or if this fire has spread. You know, I was talking to a neighbor earlier. He was worried. He lived in the backyard of Chem Tool. He doesn't know if it's going to cross the tracks, affect his home. Neighbors in that area wondering if the air quality is safe enough to even be back at home, even if their structures aren't affected. So it looks like the chief and a couple emergency folks are leaving just to kind of maybe chat real quick and get kind of a unified message on what they are dealing with. Just make sure they know everything that's going on right now, and they have all the same information. Generally, they kind of like to meet beforehand, decide who's going to say what to everyone here. So again, we are just waiting right now. Let me know if you can still hear me, Whitney.
Yeah, so we appreciate your coverage out there. Thank you so much.
Again, we're at south.
Half a mile east of the fire scene at Chem Tool.
Okay, so looks like they're just coming up a second ago. As Elliot mentioned, about 150 firefighters trying to fight these flames. Really hard to see that on those aerial views that we brought you, but they, again, are just wondering when can they actually go home. That is the question this morning, is again, they are fighting those flames. Multiple crews are out there. You know, we bring you kind of little updates throughout the year of how our emergency responders prepare for situations like this. They have trainings where they will all come together, because it's really communication. You're used to having that one chief that you go to for everything when you go to emergencies. So when you have this many firefighters, this many agencies working together, it has to be smooth. And so this is why we see those multi-jurisdictions working together during the year for situations like this, when they all become one fighting unit. 150 of them fighting the flames this morning, as we give you a look there at a map on their screen. Let's get you a live look at the scene. I don't know if we're able to do that. It looks like our aerial views, they've actually left that scene right now. We're getting those from our sister station out of Chicago. So what we're able to provide you with right now is, of course, that we're going to give you that look of replay of some of those explosions happening from inside the plant. Our Elliot Grandia was actually evacuated several times in neighborhoods. We saw right behind him some of those explosions he was describing, firefighters describing that sound, saying it was unlike anything they had ever heard before. And a lot of firefighters, you know, we spoke with one over the phone who said it was something that he's never seen before. He's a retired firefighter. He's seen many things. You know, it was really important to talk to him because he explained why we're seeing firefighters fight this the way that they do. When it comes to chemicals, depending on what's inside, a lot of times they will let these buildings burn, let all of these chemicals burn, because that is the strategy to fighting this. You know, it's a little bit easier, they say, afterwards when it comes to the cleanup. Now, big question, and this is what I think all of us want to know, is what is going on with our air quality this morning when you see that much smoke billowing into the air, smoke that can be seen from DeKalb County to Waukesha, Wisconsin, Delavan, people reporting debris falling into their yards, into their, you know, parking garages, and holding up chunks of this. Do you let the kids play in the backyard? Do you open your windows? Ogle County coming out this morning letting us know that they want you to close your doors, your windows, and to monitor your own air quality. Again, I've mentioned this before. We're so lucky at this point to have all of us have a mask if we feel like maybe we're having any issues right now to be able to use that tool because it's there. Also, emergency responders saying, we know this is happening, please don't call 911, letting us know that is only for emergencies. They do not want us tying up the lines with debris falling or reporting the fire. They are aware of it. They are out there, again, more than 150 firefighters fighting those flames. Evacuation site is actually at Roscoe Middle School. This morning, we're seeing flames coming in on our SkyTrack. This is actually a view out of Beloit. They had an original evacuation site for Stephen Mack Middle School. That was for students. This got so bad, there was smoke actually over Stephen Mack Middle School, that they had to move the evacuation site to Roscoe Middle School, at least for the kids. That was the original site for everybody who was in that 1 mile perimeter. Again, the cloud of smoke just, was too dangerous, they felt, so they moved a lot of those kids. We also heard from a worker who was inside that facility who said they have drills. They do it several times a year, so all of the people who were inside the building knew exactly where they needed to go. They just had one right before the pandemic that was a special training session, so they knew exactly where to go when that emergency, when those alarms were going off, and said that they really felt like he was taken care of by the company. Again, something very unusual. The company sending a message to us, putting out a statement before emergency responders. That is not something we typically see, but we really appreciate that because we know a lot of you have been with us since our coverage started at 7 o'clock this morning, several hours now, wondering what is going on with the people inside. They had put this out early this morning, about 9:53 approximately, letting us know, quote, we have confirmed all on site are safe and accounted for. Again, why they have those evacuation drills and why they do that multiple times this year. They say the safety of our employees and the surrounding community is, of course, the reason right now and the focus for all of this. So they are calling it a precaution that they have evacuated residents. Again, hearing from the company that is a precaution is huge because they know a little bit more about what chemicals are actually burning into our sky. All right, well, right now, my co-anchor Elliot Grandia is live at South Beloit High School. Emergency responders just came to the podium, but Elliot, they didn't really say much, right? They were just kind of getting set up.
Yeah, Whitney, they're actually still gathering right now, kind of deciphering some of those last-minute points that they're trying to get across here. So they're still gathering. Again, we're at South Beloit High School, just waiting to get more word on the condition of everything going down in downtown Rockton. Again, ChemTool. We are just about 1.5 miles from the scene of everything going down right now. But the plumes of smoke, as you can see right behind me, still very large and very, continuing to kind of go in the opposite distance of what it was at first this morning, the wind kind of taking it elsewhere. But again, we have the mayor of Rockton here, the fire chief with us, a couple of fire personnel that were on the scene, it looks like, and also the village president that's going to be speaking with us in just a few minutes. They told us they're just trying to kind of gather the final ideas. They're actually walking our way right now. So once they make it here, I'm going to be putting the microphone down again. But again, we're still trying to decide how many people are in danger right now, what the community of Rockton is dealing with right now. But I'm going to put the microphone on the community, on the panel right now.
We'll address the media first.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, we've got quite an incident going on in the village of Rockton right now. About 7 o'clock this morning, the Fire Protection District, the Rockton Fire Protection District, was dispatched to smoke in the building at 1165 Prairie Hill Road, which is the ChemTool lubricant manufacturing facility here in town. When we first arrived, we had heavy fire conditions already through the roof. As far as a start or a cause of what created this this catastrophic incident, we don't know yet. Everything is still under investigation. But the main thing that I do want to tell you that the plant was evacuated. Prior to our arrival, there was about 70 employees on site. They were swiftly evacuated, and there were no injuries reported from any plant employees. We did have one firefighter injured. It seemed to be minor injuries. He actually walked to an ambulance, so that's good, but he was transported for some minor injuries. So at this point in time, I'll take any questions, So go ahead.
So we've heard a possible worker ran into one of the barrels. Can you say anything on
I
that?
can't confirm that because we haven't had an actual interview with any of the employees yet. We've been just trying to get this situation contained. So at this point in time, that's not confirmed.
And can you tell us about the surrounding areas? I mean, there's so many homes, so many neighborhoods. Obviously, that's all evacuated, but has it spread outside of the actual?
At this point in time, we have a 1-mile radius evacuation zone from the point of the incident. We did do air quality. We have several agencies that are assisting us right now, including the City of Rockford Hazmat. They are doing air quality analysis in the area, and at this point in time, there is no danger to air quality at ground level. Now, I understand everyone can see the large plume of smoke that's going south and southeast at this point in time, but I assure you that there is no danger at ground level at the plant. But just for a precautionary measure, we decided that it was in the best interest of community safety that we evacuated the area.
There were a number of explosions. There were a number
Are
of
there still
explosions.
explosions at this time?
At this point in time, the building is pretty much consumed. We're thinking that this is going to be a several-day event to have all this product burned off, and that's the best thing that we can do right now. And the main thing is that we don't want an environmental nightmare to occur, and the reason we can that we would cause that is by the use of water streams. So we stopped water operations at this point. We stopped suppression. We felt it was in our best interest to let this product burn off. The Rock River, which is a very large waterway, is about 300 meters to the west of this location. So that's one thing that we're definitely concerned about, is product runoff into the river. So we don't want that to happen. So at this point in time, it's best that we just let this product burn.
Is the product mainly oil then?
Oil-based lubricants is what is manufactured at ChemTool. So that's basically what's burning right now. That's all the black smoke.
How much oil was in the building, or chemicals at the time? On barrels? I don't know.
I can't speculate on how much product was actually involved.
And do we know when? I know a lot of people are wondering just when can they come home? Is that too much in the air right now?
Right now, we're asking that residents stay out of the area for at least another 2 to 3 hours until we get a better understanding on where this product runoff is going to go, and we're going to just evaluate that from there. So
what's the status right now? I mean, you're not fighting it with water. You are just letting.
Right now, Andy, the building is completely consumed. So it's no longer standing. Like I said, this was a fast-moving fire. It was wind-driven. You can tell by the winds that we have in the area today that it's been very windy this morning. But the main concern that I had, it was the safety of our fire personnel. So we actually the fire personnel actually evacuated one side of the building just to keep those guys safe and not get anybody else injured.
And you were telling me 150 people helping it through all of this. I mean, can you talk about the help that you had from all over the state line?
So right now we have fire agencies from the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area. There's probably between 40 and 45 agencies that are involved, fire agencies, and there's probably 150 to 175 fire personnel on scene.
Chief, there was some talk of needing or bringing in some foam to use to treat the fire.
Right now, like I said, the suppression stopped, so we're letting this product burn, and that's the safest thing that we can do because we're so concerned about the product runoff into the waterways.
Would you say that this is about 0% contained, or is there any type of stopping at this point?
Initially, there was no stopping the fire. Like I said, when the first arriving fire engine arrived, there was already fire through the roof. So
to be clear, you're less concerned about what's happening in the air, the smoke, the chemicals. You're more concerned about the runoff into the water.
That's what we're concerned about right now. And like I said, at ground level, the air quality is good. It's just what you see in being dumped into the atmosphere with the smoke.
Are you going to continue kind of obviously monitoring at ground level?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be an ongoing situation probably for the next few days.
And Chief, with those next few days, schools are evacuated today. What can they expect tomorrow, the upcoming days?
When we get more time and we can do a little bit more evaluation, then we will definitely let you know that. I can't answer that right now, and I don't want to speculate.
And how long do you think it'll take? Obviously, you said you haven't talked to any workers yet. How long can we expect to know what exactly happened today?
I'm hoping by the end of the day that we'll have some information on what caused the fire and what happened and get some more.
For those people that live between the plant and the Rock River where the evacuation zone is, that smoke isn't going to stop anytime soon.
No.
It doesn't look like it.
No.
You say a couple hours before they can come back into their homes?
Yeah, let us evaluate that first, and I'm thinking probably a couple hours before we can let people start to return.
And are you going to check kind of the homes around for any damage or any?
Right now we have recon crews going throughout the village of Rockton and the surrounding areas. We have been getting little spot fires from this in town, also some grass fires and things of that nature. But we do have other agencies that are taking care of those, so we're pretty well covered.
And can you tell us, I mean, we've heard people, falling ash, burning debris. What do you do if you see that, or, I mean, are you supposed to just leave it alone, or, I know there's a dry,
Yeah, I think for the most part, any debris that's falling from the sky is building material debris. It's not any type of a toxic substance or anything that's created from the petroleum product that's manufactured here. There's a lot of cardboard and stuff like that and pallets that are stored in this building as well. So I think for the most part, they're okay.
Are you recommending families to not pick up debris to let other crews take care of that, or if there's something in the way?
What we'll do later on in the day and after things get a little bit more under control is that like I said, we'll send recon crews through town, and if there's any large particles or anything like that, then we'll get that picked up.
Chief, any estimates to the approximate number of residents that have had to be evacuated?
Chief Dixon, can you answer that?
We're not sure exactly. It's a work day, so a lot of people were at work this morning. But we've evacuated about 150 homes directly, and then of course the 1 mile radius. We're asking people to evacuate on their own.
That is not a mandatory 1 mile radius? You're suggesting 1 mile? Strongly suggesting.
Strongly suggesting 1 mile.
And obviously there's a bunch of onlookers a little bit closer than that on the other side of the road up there. They're in no danger, I assume?
No, not that we see, no.
Including media, right?
Is there any word from the plant yet as to what all these workers are going to do? Their job to burn to the ground.
I can't speculate on that information. I don't have any information on that. So.
Is this the largest event that you know of in your tenure here in this district?
No. I was on the train derailment several years ago down in Cherry Valley. So. And I was a PIO for that one too.
So if,
any other questions?
Just again, should people kind of watch for any of the burning things that are coming down just because it is so dry? Should they just kind of keep
absolutely. And once we let people start, going back into their homes, then keep an eye on things. And naturally, if there's any spot fires that occur because of this, give us a call and we'll come out and take care of them.
Is there any cost estimate damage at this point? How much this?
At this point in time, I have no estimate on any damage or anything of that nature, so I can't answer that.
You'll be talking with the employees involved later on this afternoon,
yes,
and hopefully be able to pinpoint the
cause.
cause.
So what we'll do, and just to let you know also, is the Emergency Operations Center in Winnebago County is open. So we're communicating through them and through law enforcement agencies. We're all working in one collaborated effort, working together. So just to let you know too, that any information that needs to be sent out to the public will probably be filtered through the Emergency Operations Center, and we'll also give you statements later on throughout the day as well.
Any estimate on how?
Press conference as the information gets gathered, or will it all just be sent electronically?
I think for the most part, everybody uses social media now. I think we can do electronic. If we need to give another press conference, we'll definitely let the media know.
Any estimate on how long this plume of smoke? I mean, this is not today, not tomorrow.
Like I said, Andy, I don't know. This could burn for several days.
Will we get an update on that injured firefighter at some point today?
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, he walked to the ambulance, so it was something minor, but just for his own safety, we transported him to be evaluated.
What's it like to just be the fire chief and see something like this happen in your community, something scale of this?
It's sad. It really is, and not only for myself, but the business itself and all the people that work there, now they're out of a job, and I understand that. But unfortunately, these things do happen. And this was a tough one. It really was. It was a tough one, and I wanted to make sure that the firefighters that we're working on scene were safe as well. So,
Mayor Peterson, Old Settlers Days may start with a cloud of smoke over the top of it.
It's going to be interesting.
Come on, step to the microphone. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, but what can you do with Old Settlers Days coming up here in Thursday night, starting Thursday night?
Well, we're just going to watch. We're going to watch the situation and
we'll see what we have to do, and we'll keep people safe.
A few cinders on the ground there, the Settlers Park too.
Maybe we'll have to do a little cleanup before the event.
And can you talk too about just what that the company meant to the community? I mean, a lot of employers from there, and it's been a part of their Rockton for a while.
Oh, long time, yeah, and it employed a lot of people, and it's just keep them in our prayers.
Exactly.
I was going to ask a similar question because we're in Chicago. We don't necessarily understand the importance to the community of this company, what they do. Can you give us a little bit more of what your understanding is of not only their importance but their role?
Well, they're a huge employer here in town, and it's going to affect a lot of families. So, I mean, I don't know how to say it any more than that. That's a big employer here in town, and this is going to be devastating for a lot of them.
What advice or maybe well wishes do you have for people to get them through this, that possibly just lost their job, that want to stay in Rockton and maybe looking for other opportunities?
It's early, so let's find out what we have and what's going to happen before we start speculating.
Yeah, everything's kind of raw right now, so like I said, give the fire service a little bit of time to figure out what we need to do, and again, we're working in real close conjunction with law enforcement, and we will let them know when it will be safe for our community to occupy their homes.
So at this point, this will not have any impact on Old Settlers Days starting Thursday night, correct?
At this point, correct. Things change, but right now, we're still planning on moving forward.
You said the plant's been here for a while. Do you know the exact year when it opened?
I want to say the year it opened was 2008. I became fire chief in the community in 2009, and they weren't in production yet. They were just getting things ready. So I want to say they started in 2008. They're actually based out of Crystal Lake, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And they moved to this area back in 2008. Any other questions?
When you say this is a big employer, how big are we talking? I mean, how many people in the area do they employ?
As far as I know, there's 70 at this particular location. There's also a smaller location located on Rockton Road. I think they only employ maybe 30 people there. But still, it has a big impact on the community and also our tax base. So something to think about. Any other questions?
So going forward, we're going to direct everybody to Katie Zimmerman, our public information officer. She's over there.
Yeah, just to be clear, going forward, all press information will come through the Winnebago County Emergency Operations Center. If you're a local reporter here, I'm sure you have Katie's phone number, but there's a number for the EOC that you can call for press updates, and we will be putting out press updates through the EOC. So, do you have that number, Katie, for the EOC? I have a number for the EOC if anybody.
All right, that wraps up our news conference here at South Beloit High School as the Rockton fire officials as well as the police chief and mayor discussed.
Hey Whitney, I don't know if you can. Not in our communication line right now. Let me dial in real quick.
All right, again, that was a press conference coming out of South Beloit this morning. Emergency responders taking to the podium saying that they are letting this burn, trying to prevent what they called, quote, an environmental nightmare, saying this is the safest way to do it. You know, we saw a look at that scene where we could just see the flames. It just kept going, and emergency crews kind of gathering in one location. They said this is to prevent any potential runoff going into our water, going into our air. Right now, they do say that they are doing some air quality tests and believe that our air is safe. Of course, they are continuing to do that. They really called it safe at that ground level. More than 150 fire crews on the scene right now trying to fight these flames that could last, that smoke plume that could last several days into our air. We talked about Old Settlers Days. You know, that'll be coming up in a couple days, a huge event in Rockton. Right now, they don't believe that's a threat to that major event, but of course it could be in there. Now, a lot of people, when can they go home? That's the big question this morning. It's something we're waiting from. They're just trying to figure out really what happened here. By doing that, they're going to speak with workers. I want to go back out. It looks like Elliot Grandy is all ready to go here. He's going to give us a little more details. Elliot.
Yeah, hi Whitney. I was off our line for a little bit there. Sorry, I couldn't exactly hear what you were just talking about. I don't want to reiterate everything, of course, if you were just talking about what we heard in the press conference. But mainly wanted to tell you that there is no concern at the ground level. We are really worried about the chemicals in the air, what we were going to be dealing with, the smoke, all of that at ground level. They say there is, no threat right now. They, of course, have people out there monitoring that by the minute, really around that area. Again, 70 workers were currently employed. They're saying that building is a total loss right now, so we expect that those 70 people are without a job right now. There was no injuries, luckily, with workers. There was a firefighter that had some minor injuries. He said to be doing okay right now. And then, of course, anyone living within that evacuation area about a mile around, they're saying could be a couple hours before you can return to your home, but you might be able to do that within a few hours. And we are in constant communication, of course, with the chief right now. So as soon as they kind of give the okay for everyone to come back home, we'll make sure to update everyone on that. As far as some of that falling debris, we did hear that there's a lot of little burning debris coming from the sky, ashes, all of that. There's a worry right now because the air and the ground rather is so dry. So the fire chief did mention if you see something on your ground, just kind of keep an eye on it because we don't know if it could spread or anything like that. Of course, with the burn concerns right now, and then biggest concern right now for them is that runoff. We're not too far from where, there seems to be an alert going out right now. It looks like all it's about everyone in that area being told to evacuate. So this is coming in a little bit late for those in that area, but that's what this noise you just heard about, or just heard rather, around us. But yeah, like I was saying, the biggest concern right now, of course, is the runoff coming from the building, the burning, and all that pollution into the river. So they're just keeping an eye on that. That's what they're most worried about right now. So that's kind of the biggest notes that we got from that first press conference. As these things go, normally they'll be updating us a few times a day, so of course we'll be keeping an eye on anything new. He also said they'll be updating on their pages as well. So I just wanted to make sure we got all of the main points on kind of what we heard from today. But again, anyone in that area, plan for a few hours. Again, there's the smoke obviously still burning. They are letting that fire burn right now. They are not fighting it right now. The building is a total loss already, so they're just letting the fire burn out as we speak. So that's the smoke that we're seeing. Again, at ground level, no worries for the air quality. They are still monitoring, though, that by the minute. So we just wanted to make sure everyone in that area knows what they're dealing with and how long this could be. A quick note, too, Old Settlers Day. That's just a few days away. It's supposed to kick off Thursday night. Not sure at this point what this will mean for that, but the mayor pretty insistent that he thinks that Old Settlers Day will go on as planned. Of course, he said it's maybe too early to call, but they're going to keep an eye on everything and make sure there might be smoke still in the air, but they want to have that event still go on. Of course, it was canceled last year. So Whitney, we are going to continue to keep you updated on air and online. Of course, we are at South Beloit High School, about a mile and a half from the scene of that massive fire today at ChemTool. So I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Elliot, I don't know if you're able to hear me, but a lot of people describing, we show you the video over and over again, but what is it actually like out there? Some describe that, there's a smell that's almost like an acidic smell. Does it hurt your eyes? What is it like to be out there?
Yeah, so when we were on Watts Avenue, which is perpendicular to where that plant is, we were about 200 meters from the fire. So when we were there, definitely feeling in the lungs, I can't really describe the smell because I've actually never smelled something like it before, but definitely very smoky. You could feel that heat, though, all the way from Grand Prairie when we were seeing those explosions 200 meters in the air. We felt that. We felt the heat, which just goes to show how massive that fire is. In terms of smoke, I feel like the smoke was kind of elevated and kind of billowing into the sky, so that wasn't something we were really smelling at that time. But again, you could just see the debris, though, falling from the sky, which was kind of a terrifying sight to see, something I haven't experienced, at least in my career. And
it was interesting, Elliot, because I know when you were actually doing your live shot, we could see those explosions happening behind you. We had a different view of it. Were you able to see the replay of the actual second explosion, how big it was?
Yeah, so what's kind of crazy about all of that is I've never never actually heard what I heard before today. You know, the explosions, the constant, you know, clips. So you could hear the little explosions, the mini explosions, and then the larger explosions kind of going off. Probably the noisiest fire I have ever been to, because it was constantly one after another after another. Some of those were obviously very large, like the ones you saw on air. I do want to let you know my phone just died, so I won't be able to hear you if you're talking back to me. But again, yeah, we are still out live here at South Beloit High School.
All right, Elliot, we appreciate your coverage. His phone dying. He's been working hard going on Facebook Live all morning long, so we appreciate that. Now, if you just heard that a beeping noise behind Elliot, everybody at the press conference, you probably got one of these too. This message just came out, actually, and it says it's just a public safety message letting people know that that 1 mile radius of Chemtool right on Prairie Hill Road, of course, is that evacuation area. So if you're hearing the phone go off, if you're seeing that, that's what we're seeing come in right now. I actually did not get one of those. I'll pass that back to Joey here. Got to adjust something there. Okay, well, right now, again, we're going to check in with our different reporters. We have team coverage. We've had team coverage. We've been on air nonstop, no commercial breaks since 7 o'clock this morning, bringing you live coverage of this, what some consider almost near catastrophic event at the Chemtool plant. They're actually trying to prevent that from being that right now because just the major damage that's out there. 150 crews fighting those flames as we can speak. Big question right now, when can people go home? That's what people want to know as we set up that Rockton location to try to go in and have a safe evacuation site for you at Roscoe Middle School. Right now, we've learned the plant evacuated 70 people. Those 70 people had practiced being, you know, inside that site and leaving for those evacuations several times during the air. More than 40 agencies on that scene as we speak. They're still trying to figure out the cause. I know Elliot asked, you know, a bunch of questions during that media briefing. One of them, what happened? They have not had a chance to even speak with workers because their focus right now is just trying to get this all under control. So if you think about it, their investigation has not even really started. It is just kind of managing it right now. They say that air quality is still good on, quote, ground level. They say crews are picking up debris. They're going to be doing that throughout the state line, that evacuation zone, those alerts that we're getting on our phone. That is actually that 1 mile radius from the manufacturing site. Now, originally they said that was a mandatory evacuation. Now they're saying that is strongly considered because of all of that heavy smoke in the area. A hazmat crews coming in from Rockford as well. That is who's coming in to test the air quality. We've seen trucks coming in from Rockford's airport with special foams that have just tried to stop with the chemicals. It can be kind of a messy situation. You have to have special tools from that. If you're just joining us too, you're wondering, why is this just continuing to burn? Why are they kind of gathered in one spot? They are trying to stop what they could prevent that environmental nightmare potentially from happening with smoke and the flames getting a lot worse when it comes to a lot of those chemicals and potential runoff going into our water system. So, you know, we knew from the start there was a strategy to this. They know what they're doing, and so that is their focus this morning. We've also learned that one firefighter is hurt, luckily just minor injuries, and we've given you different aerial views, different points of view of this fire as it's been burning now for several hours. It is amazing to think that all 70 people were able to get out, 150 firefighters on the scene right now with that one minor injury, and we're told that person is expected to be okay. Even ended up walking to an ambulance this morning, so great to hear that that person will be okay. Again, big question was that air quality. As of right now, no danger reported at ground level when it comes to that. This fire, though, could burn for several days, so this is something that is, of course, a story that we'll stay on top of. But we have different crews on the scene. Our team coverage continues with our Michelle Rave right now, who joins us live with a little bit more on that evacuation site. She's going to join us here in just a second. All right, we do have our aerial views back here. These are coming in from Chicago this morning, courtesy of our sister station, giving us a view from a little bit further away as we are now on top of those fumes and that smoke coming out from the Chemtool plant this morning. We also, I believe, are speaking with a specialist from Swedish American talking about the air quality this morning as well. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that and just kind of, you know, what's actually happening in our air this morning. Workers speaking out, letting us know that they did feel that they were taken care of in the plant and that this may have potentially happened from what they're calling hot grease coming from some of those pipes. None of that has, again, been confirmed because they are investigating it after this is all put out. They haven't even had a chance to speak with firefighters just yet. yet. People in Sterling reporting seeing the smoke. As far as Waukesha seeing the smoke. And something interesting, Joey, is that this is actually considered wind-driven. How much do you think the wind has really played a role in that plume of smoke that we've seen?
Definitely played a big role in how fast this fire has spread. Excuse me. We were dealing with winds this morning, 15, 20, even upwards of 25 miles per hour throughout the entire morning hours since this fire started. And as you saw the chief say that it's been very windy over by this fire for the past couple of hours. I mean, you can just see our SkyTrack camera up in Beloit with the fire off in the distance. You got those flagpoles there. They're still waving.
I think you might be muted, Joey. Just want to make sure your mic comes across. I know you have a lot of important information, so I want to make sure that we're getting that to you. Are you good?
A little better?
Okay, yep.
Okay, yeah, as I was saying, the fire chief was saying it was pretty windy. There we go.
Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
The fire chief was saying it was pretty windy out there this morning, and no surprise with that. Like I said, we had a cold front pass through this morning, so winds had to be easily topping 15, 20, even upwards of 25 miles per hour. And, you know, given the conditions out there with how fast these wind speeds were, definitely was one of the prime factors in, you know, this wildfire spreading, aside from the chemicals that were actually in the plant as well. And that's why a lot of places like Rockford, also Rochelle, got to see that smoke make their way into their areas, and also why we got to see debris fly as well into areas like Loves Park, Rockford, and down towards Rochelle. So definitely wind played a factor in this, as the chief said, and also, you know, they're just letting it burn because of the chemicals in there, Whitney.
All right, thank you. Yeah, they're describing this as wind-driven right now. The wind definitely not helping. Of course, it's hot out there, too. Emergency responders in layers trying to fight this fire. More than 150 of them also saw Red Cross on that scene, even just to be out there to hand out waters or food, helping them with that rotation. We want to go to our reporter, our team coverage kicking off right now with Michelle Rave, giving us a look at, I believe, the evacuation site. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Whitney. Yes, I'm at Roscoe Middle School. It's been named one of the evacuation sites, and it's more than welcome for anyone who lives within a 1-mile radius of Chemtool Incorporated. Everyone is welcome here. I know I spoke with the Kinnickinnick superintendent, who tells me they had Hananiga High School students evacuate, and they came to this area here. It was about 20 to 30 students. They were picked up from parents, but they were telling me they still haven't seen a lot of people come in, but they want everyone to know the information is out there, that the evacuation site is available to anyone. Lunch is going to be provided shortly, as well as additional services from the Red Cross and from the Red Cross as well. So we're going to be giving you updated information, but for now, this site is available to anyone. And I want to remind people that the services will be provided here as well. Reporting live in Roscoe, I'm Michelle Rave. Whitney, back to you.
Michelle, I don't know if you're able to hear me. Do you know exactly what kind of services they're providing out there? Are they doing meals for people, or is it just kind of a break to get into the air conditioning?
Yeah, so right now at this time, they're kind of providing people a break to get into the air conditioning. They're also providing water for anyone who needs it. I know lunch is coming by shortly as well. They haven't notified me about anything else beyond that, but they told me their service is coming up from Red Cross as well as the Salvation Army, so they should be here shortly as well. We've been out here for probably an hour or so, and we've seen kind of very few people utilize this resource here, but you know, the Kinnickinnick superintendent wanted people to know that the resources are here and they are available to those who need them.
All right, Michelle, they're going to be out there. Do they have a timeline for about how long they'll be out there?
No timeline at this time.
All right, Michelle, we appreciate all of your hard work out there. Of course, we have a team coverage. Our team coverage has been going on now since about 7 o'clock as we've been following this breaking news story that not only affects the Rockton community, but our entire community right now, stretching north into Wisconsin, going into Rockford, even debris falling on 12th Avenue in Rockford, too. So, I mean, we're seeing this touch a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So this is a live look right now as we give you a look at the scene from our aerial view, courtesy of our sister station out of Chicago. We appreciate, of course, their partnership to be able to give you a look at this scene, especially considering we've given you other looks right now, and they've actually have seen explosions through different locations, and to give you that point of view, I think just makes a world of a difference. Okay, looks like our governor is actually speaking out. Going to click in here just to try to pull that up for you. know if I'm able to, forgive me, just give me 1 second here as we're getting this information live to you. Governor Pritzker going on to say, I am monitoring this tragic situation in Rockton this morning and will make sure every state resource is available to respond. We've already deployed some. So he goes on to say they're assisting with equipment like air quality monitors to evaluate this plume of smoke. He goes on to say, my thoughts are with the first responders fighting this blaze and all impacted. If you're in the area, please follow the instructions of local law enforcement and stay safe. We're going to continue to monitor this. Now, he also had tweeted out, he had connected some Ready Illinois, Illinois State Police, Illinois National Guard, as well as the EPA. EPA, of course, being a good resource considering air quality is a huge concern. So again, that is coming from Governor J.B. Pritzker this morning, letting us know the state has stepped in. We have the resources. We're going to get you everything that you need. Okay, also seeing some other tweets coming in from, looks like Illinois State Police and National Guard. I believe this is all connected to one. So we have our team coverage, of course, kicking off here with more of our reporters who are live. You're giving a live look right now inside, outside of Beloit. Excuse me. Let's see if we can come out here and we can talk a little bit about some of the latest stuff coming in here. Our reporters, of course, have been across the Rockton area, some of them in neighborhoods, showing us that debris. I don't know if we're able to, want to check in with our producer, Ryan, right now. I want to go over by the 3x3 and show some of that debris coming down. Are we able to cue that up right now? See if we can get that. Okay, I'm going to step over there for a second here. So a lot of you guys have sent in photos coming in showing the debris falling from your neighborhoods or falling from the sky into your neighborhoods. And I want to show you some of that, not only on the ground, we'll get some of those pictures up for you, but also the video of that coming down. Again, 150 firefighters out in the scene. This is a live look from Beloit this morning. We've been so lucky to have those aerial views coming in from the helicopters, but want to be able to, give you different points of views here. All right, this is actually looks like a live coverage again coming in from that as you see just how dark it is, that smoke billowing into the air this morning. Again, just coming into our newsroom, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker saying we have the resources. Everyone is available to help right now. We've reached out, to the EPA, to the National Guard, and to other agencies. Okay, I want to see if we're able to pull up some of that debris. It looks like this is actually coming in from Chesney Park. Want to show you that debris, though, of it actually coming down from the sky. So this is some of the debris people are seeing. This one is out of the Rockford area. See if we can show you the video too of just kind of pouring down from the sky here of that debris. We're queuing that up for you this morning. Again, they're letting this burn off this morning. They want to, quote, prevent an environmental nightmare, saying that it is the safest way to do this. There's a strategy to this to make sure there's not runoff going into our water and going into our air. I want to make sure that's safe. I want to check in with our producer and see if we're able to pull up some of that debris coming down, because we've been showing you guys pictures all morning long of what it looks like. Some of that debris, massive, the size of, very, very large, almost the size of your foot, a little bit bigger than that. But to see it actually coming down in different parts of the area, it's just, it's very unusual in our community. Well, as we mentioned, there are about 150 firefighters out there. 70 people, though, were inside the plant at the time it was evacuated. And it was done, we're told, just seamlessly. People were able to go right to their evacuation zones. They had practiced that throughout the year. So that was just so huge. You practice for something, hoping that a situation like this will never happen. But then here we are today. All right, that video just coming in. I want to pull that up behind me. A lot of you guys are describing the debris falling from the sky. Here's a look at that. We'll see if we're able to pull that up for you here. You can kind of see the corners here. Right over there, a piece of debris, and then right here as well, as it's just falling down from the sky. That is what we're seeing in our community right now. If you're seeing that on the floor, there's a live look at that coming down as we're seeing what is actually happening into Rockford, into Ogle County, into different parts of our community. So there's that debris right behind me there as you see it coming down. We appreciate you guys sending all of your pictures in this morning. Thank you for doing so. So we give you that live look. We're also speaking about air quality. Right now they're saying that it's not a major concern, that they do not consider it to be dangerous right now, and that they do feel like it's safe. Again, Illinois EPA has been notified, so they'll be stepping in, but we've also had Rockford Hazmat going down to that ground level just to kind of check everything out, making sure everything is all good to go with that. Rockford Airport stepping in to help. We've seen, again, multiple agencies out there to try to make this, just kind of make the situation just a little bit better out there, but they do not believe the air quality is dangerous. Only one minor injury from a firefighter this morning. So that has been just so huge as we see this, again, calling that air quality that is on the ground safe. A crew is going to pick up debris throughout the state line. They'll be doing that throughout the next couple of days, I'm sure. And this is something, too, where they're saying this is going to burn for days. This isn't a one-and-done situation where, our crews are going to be able to go home at the end of the night and be done. We think of our emergency crews and just kind of what they're going through today. Red Cross is out there. It's a hot day. They're out there right now with water, giving them sandwiches, any resources that they might need as they help with that rotation. Okay, taking a look right now at a lot of your comments coming in right now. And it looks like, yeah, you guys are still seeing a lot of the debris in different parts of our area. Looking in, and we appreciate you guys just kind of giving us a scale for size, showing us putting things next to the debris so we're able to see just kind of what you guys are dealing with out there. So big thing right now, this is wind driven. I know we had a time lapse of this. Joey, are we able to pull up your time lapse?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
So this is actually from our SkyTrack camera. This is a live look, but we're going to pull up our SkyTrack camera out of Beloit. And this is a time lapse of all of that smoke from when it started to, how far does it go up to, Joey?
The time lapse goes till about 11:30.
All right, so here's about a half hour ago, and it was really growing too. That's what was interesting. You normally see these getting smaller. This plume of smoke growing. We'll see if we can pull that up for you here.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now, Whitney.
Thanks so much. Again, evacuation zone this morning at Roscoe Middle School. That's where we just saw our reporter Michelle, who let us know not a lot of people are actually taking advantage of that resource, but it is still there. So spread the word on that. Here we go. We got that time lapse up. Joey, what are we looking at here?
This is the smoke plume from that fire as it grew exponentially, the past couple of hours. This starts at around 7:30 and ends at 11:30. So just a couple of hours of that fire as we've been giving you the breaking news for the last couple of hours, Whitney. But yeah, you can just see the smoke plume off in the distance, and just the amount of smoke that we've been dealing with all throughout the area, not just up in Rockton, but southern Wisconsin, as you were mentioning. Someone's seen it from Waukesha. And, a lot of people even near the Chicago Metro, Elgin, even out towards Shannon, Illinois. We had a friend of mine, Britt Becker. She said that she can see the smoke from her house in Shannon, Illinois. So, yeah, a lot of people seeing this smoke. As Elliot did mention, it did shift a little bit because of the wind direction over the last hour or two. Now that winds are out of the northwest, you'll be able to see the smoke more in areas to our southeast, Whitney.
And it's amazing that they call this actually a wind-driven. We're going to play you part of that press conference here that we had in just a minute here. I want to go over to my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia, in a second as well. He's just getting everything powered up for us, kind of giving us a live look from that scene this morning. The company came out pretty early this morning. We really, really appreciate that. About 9:53 this morning, just to let everybody know that they gave the all clear and that everybody was okay. All the workers were fine and accounted for. So huge. When you look at a scene like this, you look at the smoke, we could see and hear those explosions that we knew that everybody was safe at 9:53 this morning. So just a special thank you to them for all that they had done. They also were thanking those emergency responders out there. Moving that evacuation zone, it's pretty much stayed within 1 mile, but as far as Stephen Mack Middle School, that was where the original evacuation site was for kids, and they had to move that because of the smoke that was actually billowing right above that building. So, of course, that was a frantic scene there. This is, again, going to burn for days. We have Old Settlers Days, and just, on Thursday, kicking off, somebody had asked about that. That is still going to be going on as of now. They don't feel like that is a threat. Obviously, with COVID, that's been, a huge problem for them that they were unable to have that event, with everything going on. So just that would be huge for them. They do not feel like that will be threatened at all. So just, that was their goal for that. All right, when can people go home? Technically, this is not a mandatory evacuation. It is strongly considered. They, really emphasize that. So you technically could, should you, look at your screen. You guys can answer that for yourselves. But, they just remind us again, we do have our mask. We do have everything available. This stretching into Ogle County as well. Ogle County Sheriff's Department putting out a statement saying, close your windows, shut your doors, really monitor your own indoor air quality. Again, they are letting us know that that air quality is considered safe this morning. Rockford Hazmat, a part of that testing. So the governor stepping in, letting us know that he has our back right now. He wants us to know that he is getting all the resources that he possibly can to us. So we'll let you know if anything changes there. And a reminder, too, that we are just waiting on that 100% all clear. But again, this could go on for a couple of days now. All right, my co-anchor Elliot Grandia getting everything set up. He's been giving us live looks all morning long and was actually evacuated several times. We brought you that coverage here live during our breaking news coverage where it was right behind him. You know, he thought he was in a safe zone, and we were seeing those explosions going off. And then later on, getting aerial view, seeing just how large those explosions actually were. So important that we listen to those emergency responders when they're telling us to evacuate areas, because it was just a matter of seconds for that. I'm checking my messages here. Got some emails coming in. Want to make sure we get you guys here. We are hoping to get a Zoom set up. We're working on a couple of things behind the scenes. So, let's see what we got here. All right, yeah, just looking for updates. And again, you know, we've been live here for several hours, so we appreciate you here. Let's bring in my co-anchor, Elliot Grandia.
Yeah, hi Whitney. Yeah, I think we've obviously been out here in the heat, so I think some of our equipment is just getting juiced up here right away. So we apologize for the delay there. But again, like you were saying, we were originally right outside of Chem Tool, just across the tracks on Watts Avenue. That was around 7:30 this morning, about a half hour after crews were called to the scene. That was a massive scene, and then we were told to evacuate. We had to evacuate about a half mile outside of that, then again another mile, and just that radius kept growing this morning. Like we said, though, they say, though, at ground level, the big concern was about the chemicals in the air, the air quality, but at ground level, they say that is not one of their worries right now. But I do want to give you a look right now. I mean, it's so hard to, just imagine that all that smoke in the air right now, all of everything that's billowing into the air, that at ground level, everything is okay, but we do have crews kind of surveying the area, monitoring that, so they are keeping an eye on everything, but at this point there is no danger in terms of air quality. Now, what does the surrounding areas of the plant look like? At this time, they don't believe that there has been any, major damage to surrounding homes or to surrounding buildings, but that's something that, again, that they're going to have to survey when things calm down just a bit. 150 firefighters or more at the scene at one time, trying to fight the flames. They said the explosions were constant and they were getting bigger as the morning was going on, so they had to kind of lay back, kind of retreat a little bit just to keep crews safe right now. So they say in terms of the fire, they're letting it burn. The building is burned to the ground right now, so they're just letting the fire basically burn out. They say it could be a couple of days. Smoke, you might be seeing this in the sky for days, for hours at this point, and it's no surprise when you see just how thick and how black that smoke is. We were so close nearby, and we could actually smell the kind of the chemicals and hear those explosions, and it was constantly little clips at a time and big massive plumes that were billowing into the air and huge flames. I mean, at one point I think you guys saw that, and it was on air, 200 meters in the air, just flames shooting into the air. So again, all of that considered a minor injury, and that's what's hard to believe. No workers injured, just a firefighter with a minor injury. He's said to be okay. So when you look at everything considered, and the people that are messaging us from DeKalb, Madison, Rochelle, saying they can see this massive plume of smoke in the air, and we see those billowing flames. Again, just one person with a minor injury at this point that we know of. So Whitney, I heard you talking about Old Settlers Day. Again, the mayor saying that is going to go on as of right now. Obviously it's taking time at working on things and making sure that they can make that all work. But Old Settlers Day at this point seems to be still a go. That's Thursday night. But 70 workers again out of a job right now from that building fire. And talking with neighbors. So many neighbors, they know someone that works at Chem Tool. They're familiar with somebody that had a job there, or they used to work at Chem Tool. So a heartbeat of the Rockton community was this plant. So tragedy there, knowing that building and that business will be no more. So hard news to swallow at this point. All those people, after such a tough year, obviously without a job and a future very uncertain right now. But again, another main concern, though, outside of air quality, they say that seems to be okay right now. Their main concern is all that runoff, obviously very close to the Rock River. everything burned, all the chemicals spilling into the Rock River. That's their main concern. That's what they're watching out for, because of course there's a waterbed right there, and the entire community uses that water. They drink out of it every day, and so that's a big concern that they're watching out for right now. As I was saying, this was not only a community-wide event, really trying to help put this fire under control. It was
All right, Ellie, we of course appreciate all your coverage out there, having just a little issue with the service there to wrap it up, but we do appreciate you, everything that you've done out there for us, of course giving us a lot of views out there, including some of those within our neighborhood, so we just appreciate everything. All right, I want to continue our coverage right now with our Michelle Rave, see if we can get her up here. I have a couple questions for you out there, Michelle. Are you seeing more people coming in? She's actually at the site right now for evacuation. Are you seeing more people? What's going on?
Yes. Hello? Hello? Hello?
All right, we're going to see if we can get that, all handled there. Just a little bit of issue sometimes with our signal. We have a lot of crews out, so we just appreciate her work out there. So we'll see if we can get that all squared away there. But again, Michelle joining us at the evacuation site. She was saying that not a whole lot of people were actually there and taking really advantage of that resource, but that's available. One of the interesting things, too, we were able to have that media briefing, hear a little bit more about what we're dealing with. Take a look.
We don't want an environmental nightmare to occur, and the reason that we would cause that is by the use of water streams. So we stopped water operations at this point. We stopped suppression. The Rock River, which is a very large waterway, is about 300 meters to the west of this location. So that's one thing that we're definitely concerned about, is product runoff into the river.
Again, that was a big concern, was that product runoff going in. We're hearing people in Roscoe right now. I just got a message from somebody who said that there are tons of sirens, possibly a new fire from the debris. So this is, just, of course, something that she's concerned about. We appreciate her sending that message. We're going to look into that. Obviously, Elliot's out there, so we're going to just figure out what's going on there. The debris is falling, and that is a potential for something else. So, we don't want this to spread. Of course, that is what the big concern is right now. We don't want it to go anywhere but this location, but we are seeing that burning debris and other things falling. So we appreciate that message coming in. We're going to look into that, try to figure out what's going on there as our coverage continues this morning. It is at 12:15. We've been on the air with you live with our breaking news coverage since 7 o'clock this morning at the Chemtool plant, letting you know about that massive fire out there that has really stretched into several communities. I'm losing a battery here on this. Want to see if we have Michelle Rave all ready to go. Is she good to go, Ryan? Okay, we're trying to get her live shot up and going here. So I want to let's take you out to that evacuation center, let you know a little bit of what we're seeing.
And right now we're just giving people just a chance to relax and have a place to sit down and take care of themselves.
Again, that is just a little bit about, what that evacuation site is. It is a break for a lot of people who just got the opportunity for a second. You want to get some air conditioning. We all want to be home right now during this, but is it safe? That's the question. Okay, there's a live look right now at some of those fire crews at the scene. Looks like they're spraying into the water. I don't know the strategy behind that or what that could be. Obviously, there's a reason for that, so we're going to have to figure out what's going on there with that. If there's a firefighter watching, we've had a couple call in. We appreciate you guys so much to let us know why the water would actually be spraying into the water. If there's any reason for that, please let us know. Maybe there was, potential debris or something out there, but we'll have to wait to see. Okay, this is a live look, actually, courtesy of our SkyTrack Weather Network cameras. We've been so lucky to have those because every day we're able to provide you different shots throughout the state line. Today, though, really showing how far that smoke plume is stretching across our community as we're seeing it all over the place. Hundreds of photos coming into our newsroom. We appreciate all that you guys have sent to us, as well as this aerial view courtesy of our Chicago sister station. Thank you so much to that. Let's take you back to that evacuation center in Roscoe with our Michelle Rave.
Hi, Whitney. Yes, I'm at Roscoe Middle School right now. This is the evacuation site, and I spoke with the Kinnickinnick superintendent who tells me that moments ago they had Hananiga High School students evacuate to this site here. It was about 20 to 30 students, and they were later picked up by their parents. But right now she's telling me anyone within a 1 mile radius of Chemtool Incorporated can come out here. So resources are available from the Salvation Army and from the Red Cross. Some of those resources are water. Lunch is going to be provided shortly, very soon. And they're just letting everyone know that these resources are available for people to use them. Right now we've been out here for maybe an hour or so. We haven't seen too many people utilize the source, but it is available for people. I wanted to just let people know the address here. It's 6121 Elevator Road, Roscoe Middle School.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And you said not a lot of people are. Is anybody there taking advantage of the services right now, or is it just a few people?
Yeah, there's very few people. There's few people that have come in. We've seen a few cars come in. There's actually, there's a few cars coming in right now. But yeah, there's very few people utilizing the source. So the people that I've been speaking with, they're telling me they want the word out. The information is out there so that people can utilize these resources in case you need to cool off or anything like that, need water or food. It's provided right here at Roscoe Middle School.
Right now, because of course nobody expected to be outside of their homes this morning and dealing with this. Just a mess out there. Michelle, we appreciate all your coverage and everything that you've provided for us this morning. Of course, letting people know where you can go pick up a meal, some water, some air conditioning, as you were unexpectedly forced to leave your home this morning because of this. All right, also just coming in this morning, we're learning more about some of the impact on Rockford. We've learned that Rockford Park District just put this out saying pools going to be closed right now out of an abundance of caution. They will not be opening Sand Park Pool today because of the smoke and debris from chemical tool plant fire. Can you just imagine that, though, that this is so far all the way into Rockton, having that impact on closing, shutting down pools in the Rockford area within the Rockford Park District. Wimber Sioux also putting out a message letting people know air quality at ground level has been tested and is not deemed hazardous. Local hazmat crews, they have been helping Rockton Fire test the air quality. Rockford has been helping as well. And again, they are not expanding the evacuation beyond the 1 mile radius from the fire, which is huge because, again, like we said, this has been going on since 7 o'clock this morning. So for them to be able to keep that radius within 1 mile, that's been a really big deal for a lot of people because this could have impacted people's homes, with a little bit outside of that. So it's been, it's been very good that it's only been within that 1 mile. So they are also saying at this point, they are letting the building and chemicals burn off versus putting the water on it. We heard that coming straight from the investigators to say this is their strategy right now. This is the method that they want to take because, of course, it really makes it so they're not spreading and having more of a catastrophe, as they call it. Well, that plan has actually been around since 2008 in our community. They've got different lubricants, greases, fluids in there, but they've been in our actual community since about the 1960s. That specific location, though, has been around since about 2008. So they've had different evacuation sites. Now it is only Roscoe Middle School. Want to make sure that we're getting this as they describe this to be a wind driven this morning, saying that this fire that we see could end up burning for days now. Well, that helicopter that we brought you, that is no longer. They're heading back to the Chicago area, or at least taking a break, but we've appreciated all of their coverage this morning as they've given us those live looks, things that we were able to provide to you, and really the source of that fire at the Chemtool plant. This is a live look right now coming from our SkyTrack network out of Beloit as we brought you some of those time lapses as well. So we're going to continue that coverage for you here on air. Also hearing from some of the experts when it comes to that air quality. I want to double check. I know we had a couple lined up here, but haven't heard anything since. So I want to just see if we are able to provide that. I don't know if we want to check with our producer, Ryan. Are we getting anything with that air quality specialist? Okay. All right. So there we go. So right now, no air quality risk right now. They're saying it is good on ground level. Crews are picking up debris throughout the state line. The evacuation zone, again, is just within 1 mile. Of course, we're going to let you know the latest on that. All right. Want to see the latest right now when it comes to this zone. They're saying that they are still going to figure out what's going on with Rockford Hazmat. I want to see if we're able to play just a quick soundbite here from that press briefing.
We have a 1 mile radius evacuation zone from the point of the incident. We did do air quality. At this point in time, there is no danger to air quality at ground level.
Again, that's the latest on the air quality control, something they're monitoring this morning. And so we're going to let you know if anything changes with that. Otherwise, right now it is just within that mile. Again, I want to thank you guys for all of your coverage that you have provided to us, not just for us as well. Oh, I'm sorry, we just got an update come in here as I'm on air. Okay, we've just learned that Hananiga High School, they will be going remote tomorrow for their summer school. Again, Hananiga High School will be remote tomorrow for summer school. They're doing this, of course, as a precaution. Again, that Hananiga High School, again, for summer school. Also, Rockford Park District schools, pools actually will be shut down. That is a precaution. They don't want any of the debris to end up going into the pools, and so that's just like a precaution for them. So if anything changes, of course, we'll let you know. I want to check in here and see kind of the latest of what's going on with that. Okay, checking our email system this morning to see if any other updates are coming in. And again, I've been doing that with you guys live on air and letting you know, just check in here as it's coming in. You guys have received some alerts on your phone too, and that is just the alert system letting us know about where exactly is being evacuated. Okay, taking a look at this right now. Let's see what we see. Now, our news director stepped out. He did want to let us know that there was an OSHA investigation for the chemtool plant. That most recent was in May. You know, we look into that sometimes as well, and we'll get those with a lot of our plants in our community. That could be something minor, as he mentioned. It could be a gate that, you know, should have been shut during a time of some sort of, you know, chemical release or something like that. So this picture actually coming in from Rockton this morning. There's a live look at what appears to be when the smoke was getting a lot darker and seeing those plumes of smoke going into the air. Now, Joey, are you seeing anything else on the radar?
Not much anymore, because now the smoke is kind of winding down, so not much is appearing on radar as of right now. But still, we have a lot of smoke being lofted into the atmosphere. So like we've been saying all morning, although they're saying that air quality is good, even with the smoke being lofted by this fire, you know, just make sure to stay up to date, you know, with all the information that's coming out with this. But as far as radar is concerned, not much showing up anymore, which means that the fire is slowly going away, and it's also trying to spew out less smoke, Whitney.
And you were saying that the big thing with this is that it's wind driven.
Yeah, even though it's a chemical fire, the winds played a substantial role in how fast this fire did spread. And I was just talking to our floor director earlier, and we saw that it was just in one part of the building, and then quickly, because of the winds, it spread into the main building there. So that's why you saw this building become consumed with flames, with how strong the winds were, as the chief was saying. And
it's amazing too, because we said over 150 firefighters are on that scene right now. You know, the heat obviously plays a huge role, and when you're rotating like that, you know, at least you have the people out there to do so. How hot is it right now for them?
Temperatures out there in the low 80s for most, but as Elliot was saying, the closer that they got to the building, the hotter it felt. So definitely these firefighters were dealing with some extreme heat, even as they were sitting outside of the building. Thankfully, humidity wasn't a concern, but as we've been saying all morning, the winds definitely played a role in why it spread so fast.
Yeah, and that's what the emergency responders were saying this morning. Of course, we appreciate you guys being with us. You guys have been with us since 7 o'clock this morning as we started our coverage, as those alarms kept going off there at the chemtool plant out of Rockton. Okay, we're getting a closer look at some of the debris that is still falling this morning. Also, the reason that they have closed down pools within the Rockford Park District, because this right here is falling from the sky. This is actually coming out of Love's Park this morning. Some of you guys have actually had even larger, almost this size, of that debris. So the Rockford Park District saying that they are going to just kind of haul everything, just a precaution for that. Also, same thing, Hananiga High School. They are going remote tomorrow for summer school. They just want to make sure that that is, you know, everyone's ready to go. They have that option to do that with everything that's happened during that pandemic. All right, giving you guys another live look here with our SkyTrack system. We've been able to do that with all of our systems here, as the water tower there from Beloit, giving you that live look as the smoke continues to billow into the air. More pictures coming into our newsroom as we're seeing those coming into our Facebook page. A special thank you. Again, you know, like I said, we've not taken a commercial break since before, a little after 7 o'clock this morning. I'm not sure when our coverage actually kicked off, but just want to thank you guys, because whenever we're bringing you any breaking coverage, you You know, we might be here at the station, we have reporters out, but this is where it really takes our entire community as we all try to figure out what's going on here. So special thank you to everybody who sent pictures in, messages in, anything letting us know about this so we could piece it all together for you to be able to give you this coverage live today. Special thank you to you guys. I think we have a couple more pictures coming in, as well as some drone footage. Let's see if we can get the drone footage up right now. Do we have that, Ryan? All right, so this is actually drone footage, kind of similar, though, to that aerial footage that we brought you from our stations out of Chicago. I'm going to move out of the way here so you can see. But big thing is these flames just keep coming in, these little explosions, making it almost impossible to put out. The fire department saying that they have actually gone in and are just going to let this burn. That is the safest way, they're saying, to be able to handle this is just to let it burn. They don't want any runoff going into our water. Something interesting that we saw, though, that was right to the side when they were giving us that aerial view, there were some fire trucks, and they had some of the water going into that little body of water. Not sure what the strategy is with that. Again, we were looking for any firefighters that were able to supply that information to us. You guys have sent us video of debris actually falling from the sky, going into neighborhoods in our community. We want to let you know anything that comes, you're going to hear about it on air, online, on our Facebook page. Of course, our breaking coverage you're going to find right here on Eyewitness News. Thank you so much to everybody who was able to join us this morning as we bring you this coverage here. And it does not stop here. You're going to join us tonight on Eyewitness News at 5 for the latest, including live reports of what happened here in Rockton. Thank you so much.